All right, so I'm really excited today to be speaking with the one and only Kate Northrup, who is an author and the creator of the Freedom Tour. She's got a forthcoming book that I'm very excited to share with all of you. It is called Money, a Love Story. I think Skype is going to flip everything backwards, but
Yes.
this is in essence what it should look like on some level when you see it on bookshelves pretty soon. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Kate, to talk about our relationship with money. I really
Thanks
appreciate you
for
being here.
having me.
So I've seen this happen before. Picture this. Someone is like, all right, squaring my shoulders. I'm going to walk the world with more abundance. I'm going to really show up. I'm going to quit doing this. I can't afford that, and shift my language and start going, I'm going to choose not to have this at that time. And it's almost inevitable in my experience, both personally and in hearing about how it feels for clients when they start walking into this space, that somebody is going to give them some serious backlash. And often it can be a little shaming, but really a strong insistence that, like, look, you need to face reality. You can't afford things. You're not being realistic. Not everyone should have money. This is exactly the problem with the world. It's people are focused on money. Like, these are the things they start to show up with.
Yeah.
And that can have someone shrink down and dull their flame. How
hmm
would you suggest that someone works with or deals with people who have such a strong response?
It's a great question. It's such a great question. The more you shine, the more people will have something to say about it.
Yeah.
Period. End of story. I mean, I could send you some of the emails that I have gotten, and I'm sure you get them as well. If you're not getting pushback from somebody who you're pissing off, you are not showing up enough, I think. So I'll just say that. However, if it's people like in your family and people that you really love, which it probably will be, I would encourage you to um, do it anyway, because your modeling of another way of being can be an invitation for them to embrace that way of being. But the reality is there are some people who just aren't coming with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I have had friends who have those people very close to them. It might be a husband, it might be their mother, And so what I would recommend is just instead of getting all up in their face, like if like, okay, here's an example. My friend's mom cleans the house and always had. She works full time. She cooks 3 meals a day. I mean, she is just like hardcore. And this friend of mine, she hired a cleaning lady, and she actually hired somebody to help her cook her meals because she's so busy and she doesn't actually like to cook. And she was eating out a lot, and she decided it would save her money to have somebody cook with her at home. And her mother got wind of that and had so much judgment around this. And so what I recommended to this friend is just not really talk with her mom about that and just decide what topics are fruitful for both of them. So instead, like, they both love to go to yoga class. So they talk about yoga and they go to yoga class together. Or, they both love to sail. So they can talk about sailing and doing that. And so they don't have to actually talk about the fact that this girl's business is really growing and she's doing really well and that pushes her mom's buttons. Like, there are ways of ebbing and flowing in your personal relationships so that you don't, so that you're not as much of a mirror for somebody where they are seeing the possibility of what they could have, and then they feel bad about that they don't have it, and so they of course reflects their judgment back on you, which makes you feel bad, which usually would make people shrink. But instead, my recommendation is just turn the mirror around and talk about something else. And then in your other life with your more supportive people, just keep rocking, just keep like doing your prosperity and being out there that way. But you don't have to go down the wormhole of misery and woe is me and poverty consciousness with the people in your life who are in that wormhole. You can just choose different topics.